You're home alone tonight. The lights are off. The house goes completely silent. Your chest tightens before you even know why. Have you ever wondered why silence can feel more frightening than noise? If questions like that keep you up at night, hit like, subscribe, and stay with me, because the answer goes back further than you think. That reaction is not new. It is not a modern glitch in your nervous system. It is 300,000 years old. For most of human history, silence did not mean peace. Silence meant something was watching. Birds stop singing when a predator moves through the grass. Insects go quiet when a snake slides past. Your ancestors learned this pattern before they learned language. A quiet forest was not calm. A quiet forest was a warning. Think about that for a second. Danger usually announces itself, a growl, a snapped branch, a scream. But the deepest threats didn't make noise at all. They waited, and the forest told on them, not through sound, but through the sudden absence of it. Evolutionary biologists call this the landscape of fear. Animals map their environment not just by what they see, but by what they hear disappear. Researcher Joel Berger studied this in elk and wolves and found that prey species treat unexpected silence as a direct threat signal, often reacting faster to quiet than to noise. Humans, sharing this same ancient survival wiring, inherited this exact response. So here's the twist. You would think loud things trigger fear faster, a thunderclap, a shout. But your brain treats sudden silence as more urgent because silence means something changed and you don't know what. It's the pause your ancestors couldn't explain that kept them alive long enough to reproduce. Fear of the unexplained pause is written into you. Now, think about why hearing specifically carries so much of this weight. Your eyes only cover what's in front of you. Your ears cover everything all at once, even behind you, even in the dark. For a species without claws, without fangs, without night vision, hearing was the early warning system that made up the difference. And that system doesn't just listen for danger, it listens for the disappearance of safety sounds too. Crickets, bird song, wind through leaves. When those stopped, your ancestors' brains didn't register calm, they registered a gap in the data, and a gap in the data has always meant something is hiding inside it. There's a reason this shows up across species, not just in humans. Biologist Karen McComb studied elephants and found that they react with heightened vigilance not just to predator sounds, but to unnatural quiet in areas where ambient noise should exist. Silence, in other words, is treated as data across the animal kingdom, not just an absence of it. You inherited this exact circuitry. You just call it a bad feeling. But wait, if silence is this dangerous, why does the fear show up somewhere as harmless as a work meeting? Here's why. Your amygdala doesn't know the difference between a silent savanna and a silent Zoom call. Someone asks a question and the room goes quiet. Nobody answers. That tightening you feel is real. To your brain, unexplained silence is still unexplained silence, no matter which room it happens in. Psychologist Namke Cowdenberg ran a series of studies on conversational silence and found that a pause of just 4 seconds is enough to make people feel excluded, anxious, or socially threatened. 4 seconds. That's all it takes for your nervous system to flag a modern pause as an ancient danger. This is why silence on a first date feels unbearable, why a delayed text reply spirals into worst-case thinking, why teachers know that waiting silently after asking a question makes students uncomfortable enough to blurt out an answer. None of this is really about the silence itself. It's about what your brain assumes silence is hiding. Here's where it gets more personal. Think about the last time someone left you on red. Nothing happened. No bad news arrived, and yet your mind built an entire story out of nothing in seconds without your permission. That's not anxiety malfunctioning. That's the exact same ancient alarm, just aimed at a phone screen instead of a tree line. Your ancestors' brains filled silence with the worst-case scenario because the ones who didn't
didn't survive to pass that habit on. So, is all silence dangerous to your brain? Not quite, and this is where the story flips. Researchers studying meditation and deep focus states found that self-chosen silence, silence you control, activates completely different brain regions, ones linked to calm and reward instead of threat. The fear isn't about sound disappearing, it's about losing control of information. Unpredictable silence is terrifying. Chosen silence is peaceful. Same acoustic condition, completely different meaning to your brain. So the real ancient rule your ancestors carried wasn't fear the quiet, it was fear the unknown quiet. A silence you cannot explain is flagged as a threat, whether it comes from a tree line 40,000 years ago or an unanswered message 10 minutes ago. There's another layer to this. Anthropologists studying small-scale foraging societies, including work by Polly Wiesner on the Juhansi people of the Kalahari, found that nighttime silence carried specific social meaning. Talk happened around fire, and it stopped when something outside needed full attention. Silence wasn't just the absence of sound, it was a signal, passed down through behavior, that said, "Pay attention now." Groups that ignored that signal didn't get a second warning. You can still see the shape of this today in places that have nothing to do with survival anymore. A courtroom goes silent before a verdict. A hospital hallway goes silent before news. A crowd goes silent right before something is announced. We build entire rituals around that exact pause, because on some level, we still believe silence means something important is about to happen. We didn't invent that instinct, we just found new rooms to put it in. That's the part most people miss. Silence was never neutral, it was information. And information to a brain built for survival is never something you can afford to ignore. So your body doesn't wait for permission to react. It reacts first and asks questions later. That's not a flaw, that's the entire point. Which means every time you feel that flicker of unease in a quiet room, you are not overreacting. You're running code older than agriculture, older than fire, older than language itself. Your ancestors survived long enough to become your ancestors specifically because they took silence seriously. So tonight, when the house goes quiet and your chest tightens for no obvious reason, you are not imagining a threat, you are remembering one. And somewhere behind that flicker of unease is a woman crouched in tall grass 40,000 years ago, listening to the birds stop singing, deciding whether to run.